Well. Hello, people. Happy New Year to everyone, guys. And yeah, we are in 2021 now. And I don't know how different it is going to be. I hope it is different. And yeah, we don't want replica of 2020, of course. Yeah, Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you guys have had a safe New Year. I hope you guys did everything possible to, not piss the authorities off with all your parties and. So I hope you guys are safe and I'm back. It is 2021 and my show runs, my show continues because, of course, I don't have any other thing to do. So this is my show. And yeah, guys. So today we have a very special guest with us here today, and he's a big celebrity, and we have never had such a big guest in my show. Actually, he's a big Hollywood actor, and he has worked in over 500 films. He has worked in the industry for over 40 years. He is the brother of the legendary actress Julia Roberts. Yes, he's the father of Hollywood actress Emma Roberts. And I hope you guys know who they are. And yes, and you have definitely seen him in the movie The Dark Knight. And he has done the role of Maruni. And if you guys have not, probably once you see this interview, you will know who he was because we have actually seen Dark Knight so many times that we know everybody's faces now. So, yes, and I welcome to my show Mr. Eric Roberts. And I'm pretty delighted to have him in my show because with his experience and with the with so much work what he has done in the industry, I think he will be the best person to discuss my today's topic, which is going to be the general movies, and I'm going to discuss just movies and cinema and how things will be, how things are post COVID in this post COVID scenario, and how OTT platforms have actually changed the game, how Warner Brothers, HBO Max, Disney Plus, and everybody else, how they have actually changed the game now. So we're going to discuss all of that. We're going to discuss movies. We're going to discuss how 2021 will be like and how bad 2020 was. So yes, I welcome again Mr. Eric Roberts to my show. You guys are watching Minding My Business, and I'm your host, Avi. Yep, and yes, we are on. And
Good morning.
guys, good morning, and welcome to my show. It's called Minding My Business.
We love the name of the show, Minding My Business. And where are you?
So I'm right now in Dubai, and this is my show, which I started back in 2020, and it's my 25th episode, and it's really an honor because I am a big fan of Maruni, and I can't tell you how many times I've seen Dark Knight, and it's I've never had such a big guest in my show, and this is something which it's a very special episode for me. And thank you guys for taking out time on Sunday afternoon, and I will not take much of your time, but I just wanted to actually discuss the current movie scenario and how it's actually affecting all over the world. And it's a similar business model which is being followed in India. So I thought probably, you have worked in the industry for so long, and such lineage, and who better to answer to my questions? So, what I wanted to start out with is, recently, Warner Brothers gave a big shocker, and they announced that all of their 2021 movies will actually release on OTT platforms. That's their HBO Max, as well as theaters. So, okay, I'm happy with it. I don't have to pay much. But then, what does it, transpire to? Like, what is your takeaway with this? I'm sure HBO, I'm sure Warner Brothers are fine with their calculations. But what is your takeaway with this kind of a business model?
Well, okay, I'll say a couple of things then. I'm going to pass it to you. First of all, everybody during COVID has come up with all kinds of solutions to all kinds of things,
Yeah.
and it's kind of amazing. And some of them are improvements, and they will stay with us. It's like the future came forward faster than we expected. Because everybody's been talking about, even though there have been improvements on movie theaters, new movie theaters being built, like my kids' generation, they don't go to the theater. And they've been saying it's all going to be streaming anyway. We miss the tradition of the movie theater. So when they say they're going to open on HBO Max and also in theaters, a lot of times that's more like in theater. There's like one movie theater in the whole US that's showing it.
Yeah.
And it just like going on set, it's a weird experience to go to a movie theater. It's got to be, because it's just everything from popcorn to the restrooms to the seating. But as movie makers, it's very weird, because when you make the movie, you never know if your movie's going to get distribution anyway, but now you really don't know if it's going to make any noise. My son, Keaton Simons, did all the music for a Diane Keaton movie called Love, Weddings, and Other Disasters, which just opened. And you wouldn't even know the movie opened. I mean, Meryl Streep has a new movie out. We barely know it's there, right?
And that's Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
And we love Meryl Streep movies.
Yes.
So how does it feel for you, Eric, when most of our pre-planning has to do with COVID testing, right? How does it feel to you?
It's a whole other world. It's like when you first started in film and you were very nervous to be on a set because everything was so different. Well, that's just like, again, only for other reasons. It's so weird. And it's taken the fun out, because the fun of what we do is the camaraderie and how we all know what each other is going through, and only we know it. Only we know it.
Yeah.
And it's a group thing. It's a group love. It's a group effort. And that's kind of gone because we have to stay away from each other. And it's not fun that way. It's much more mechanical, and what we do is meant to not be mechanical. But so it's in the way, but we don't have a choice, and we have to all be commonly courteous about it, and always have our mask, and just to be polite. You have to wear a mask just to be polite now. And so it's a whole new world out there, and I was so shocked and so happy to hear that as an entertainer, what do they call us? We have to work.
We're essential workers.
We're essential workers. Who knew? Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I was shocked. I'm happy, but I was shocked.
It was.
Yeah, true. Also, so I mean, this is something which, I mean, even in India, it's happening. So the problem in India is because, they have a lot of theaters, but, during the pandemic, I mean, Netflix and Amazon got a big boost. But with that, a lot of other companies have opened up their streaming platforms. So now you have Sony, who have started to come up. Then you have some other platforms as well. I think even in the US, Universal is gonna, I mean, it's already out or it's gonna be out, I don't know. So what I want to say is, now, is it gonna be difficult to fund those big budget blockbuster films? I don't want to watch Black Widow on Disney Plus. I want to go out there and watch it. But if they can't release it over there, are they gonna I mean, is it going to be difficult to actually fund these movies in the future? Those $200 million bucks, I mean, expensive movies, because they got to make the money back, right?
The way I see it, it's going to be impossible.
Okay.
It's going to be impossible.
Yeah, the film industry in India is very significant. I mean, it's so many of the films that we look forward to seeing come from there. Yeah. And it's a real legit industry there. So you can gauge by both places. I think, it is going to be difficult. For one thing, the budgets are costing at least a third as much, no matter what your budget is, because of COVID. So, and the pre-production time is tripled. A lot of line producers we've talked to have said, well, we're prepped for COVID, but we haven't prepped the movie at all. So television, think about television episodes. And not to mention that you don't know how to keep the subject matter current, because our knowledge about the virus changes every couple times a day.
It's an evolution every day.
So if it takes a year and a half to get a movie out, it's a period piece by the time it's out there. I mean, it's either no virus, which seems weird. When you see people hugging, you want to run to the screen and stop them, or it's dated information. The budgets had gotten inflated anyway, especially above the line. Some people are just paid unnecessarily too much money when the world is starving. It's ridiculous. So we needed to push refresh anyway and get real. There's some countries where we love the art, we love our work, and we're paid as employees. We're paid as people who work and have a job. We're not paid ridiculous amounts of money like crazy royalty. So, but some of those costs that you talk about are necessary costs because we have a certain standard, like especially things like Wonder Woman. It has to look amazing and you have to believe it, and who's going to have the money for that? You have no guarantee of making back a dime. And the way that we do it with Netflix and Amazon, we'll hear about a movie, we'll make a note or a TV show to watch it. We'll go through our watch list, and then we immediately just go to IMDb. Type it in. There'll be a connection to Amazon Prime. If it's anywhere else, even Netflix, it's too complicated, and we're like, forget it. Right? We have it on our TV. We have a Fire Stick. We barely know how to use it. I mean, and you're right. We want to go to a movie theater to see most of these things. It doesn't get your attention when you're at home.
I love the big screen. I love the big screen.
And it's nice. It's nice to be able to pause and everything. On the other hand, if you have control, you're not as engaged, right? It's more like watching a rerun.
Also, don't you believe that, in the current scenario, it's very easy to reject a movie immediately. Then, you would have to go there and give your 2.5 hours. In India, we have like songs as well. So it's 3-hour movies. So, you at least have 3 hours to reject the movie. So, over here, it's you're done. Like, you don't want to watch it. Like, stop.
No, it's an investment. It's first of all an investment and a commitment. So and this way you're not invested, and you give it like 2 seconds, like you said. And so you're kind of judgy, and it's hard to be moved. There's no magic. The magic. How do we make the magic?
There's no thrill.
We
lost the thrill.
So, going ahead with this, now what I wanted to say is, even though some of the theaters which are open, you think now it's the time for those indie movies which never got their due, which were never probably getting enough screens. Will they get now enough, enough audience? Probably now is the time for them to actually, outshine other movies? Like, you think?
It's the perfect timing for them. It's the perfect timing. And also, it's a great weirdness in our society to fill. Why not fill it with those wonderful people?
Yeah, that's a really good point. Same with actors. I'm finding that because we do acting coaching, a lot of the actors who are not getting a chance, they're getting a lot of auditions and they're getting a lot of parts because there's room for them now, because there's so many people who don't need the work who are saying, you know what, I'm going to wait. I'm going to sit it out. I'm not even going to read anything. So it's in a weird way, it's kind of like a fresh frontier. And definitely some of the indie movies, like I noticed that they're showing Flirting with Disaster a lot, and Eric's movie, It's My Party. Those movies were barely showing at all. And now you're kind of like, I never saw this before. This is fantastic. And with new indie movies too. So that part's really good.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And guys, another frustrating thing which I have realized in the last few months is you have more than 10 OTT platforms now. And Warner Brothers will play all of their movies in HBO Max, and Netflix will play their own. Universal have their own. So how much do the audience have to subscribe to? If I don't subscribe to Apple, I don't get to see Tom Hanks's movie called Greyhound. So, that's something which is pretty frustrating. And that is something where I believe this will be the market now. And if you take OTT as a theatrical platform, like similar to a theatrical platform, then I think you think like in the near future, maybe in 2-3 years, it will be even more difficult to get your movies out in these platforms as well. I mean,
It might be.
I mean, how many platforms am I supposed to subscribe to? You know?
I know, it's confusing. Sometimes we'll go to watch something and it'll say you have to subscribe, and we'll start and we're confused, and then suddenly the movie starts playing and we're like, oh wait, we didn't do anything, and there it is. So it's really confusing. But you got to figure it this way. In the olden days, you'd wait for a movie to come out. It would stay in theaters for a while. But if you missed it, or if you missed it like you wanted to see it again, you had to wait years for a television deal, right? And then it would show on like ABC with kind of commercials. Now, because of the instant gratification and the volume of stuff, of course everybody's figuring out how to monetize it. So of course it's going to cost us something. And it is frustrating because sometimes there's only one thing you want to see on one of the platforms. You don't want to have to subscribe and have to see that one thing, and then you're never going to use that again. So I'm not sure how that's going to get fixed, but it isn't fair. It is frustrating. We have exactly.
And guys, so Tenet came up in August, and apparently, I mean, as per the news, all the tabloids, it was supposed to save Hollywood. I mean, I think it did save Hollywood. I mean, that's what my takeaway is. But the magazines, all the news, everyone, they don't write it that way, because I personally thought that, you know, regardless of his box office gross, I mean, the sheer guts to release a movie in that scenario. I mean, I was among the first people, I think, in Dubai to actually watch it first day, first show. So, I mean, I was delighted, but I would have loved if people could have watched that movie in theaters rather than, you know, last week on HBO Max. So what do you think? I mean, do you think these guys should have waited maybe more, maybe like few months more, or maybe they rushed it, or maybe because it's Nolan, you know, like, yeah, I mean, you know, I'm just asking. What do you think about it?
Well, you know, you have to play the cards that are dealt you. And those are the cards that are dealt you. And you just have to be a grown-up and say, it's not the best case scenario, but here we go. And you just have to go with it. And it's almost never going to be the best case scenario. That's how life works. You just have to roll with it. And sometimes you get lucky. That's why they call it luck. Sometimes you get lucky.
I think it's a little bit like some of our friends whose kids were getting married, and they had a big wedding planned and they realized they couldn't do it. So they postponed. Now, what some of them did, which is interesting, is they had a smaller wedding. They had a virtual wedding. You know, they just the two of them, but their friends were there on Zoom.
Yeah.
And then they will, you know, if this ever ends, you know, if the world, whatever it comes back to be, then they'll have another celebration. So it feels like, I think that once we realized this wasn't going to be 6 months or 2 months or even 1 year, it was going to be longer and also a little bit more permanent. They kind of had to do that release. Hopefully they'll be kind enough to do a whole new release with all the bells and whistles, a fresh one, more like old school, so that we all can enjoy that too. I mean, there's a certain thing that we, you know, a lot of our friends love about not having to get dressed up in tuxedos and go all over the place a lot, because that only looks like fun. It's not actually that much fun. And so it's kind of nice to have a little bit more time to focus at home and get your work done, and, you know, and be with your grandkids and stuff.
Have your tea, have your stuff, you know?
Yeah, we get more work done. But I agree. I don't know. I think that once the waiting became indefinite, like you didn't know how long you'd be waiting, it wasn't really enough to wait anymore.
Yeah, I agree. And guys, one last question actually. I mean, we're already in 2021, which seems like, I don't want this to be a sequel to 2020, but I mean, what are you guys actually looking forward to in this first 6 months? Like, you guys think, or you guys hope, or you guys like, I mean, pretty sure that all theaters will open up, or like it's gonna pretty much continue like this for a while in the US?
Well, I'll be honest with you. Here's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it as here's a whole new world. It's right here. We're all looking at the whole new world. We're all operating on it, and this is the new world. And we're stuck with it because of COVID, and we're going to get good at it because of COVID. So COVID's going to bring out good things for us, but it's a whole new ball game, and I'm ready to roll.
Could you hear all that? Did that work for you?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
think we're looking forward to safely being able to go back to movie theaters and feel a little bit less they're less methodical on set, and also just with family and friends and
that's going to happen for a long
it's going to be a while.
time. It's going to be another 18 full years. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And guys, I think I'm coming to an end to my podcast. I am pretty much done with my questions. But Eric, again, I am going to say one thing, that this is a big fanboy moment. And I have actually not talked to somebody of this stature before, as I've told you this. And yeah, I mean, every time when I see your face, like, it's Maruni every time. So yeah, I mean, I'm very honored to actually have you on my show. And guys, thank you for taking out time. And I've personally seen Dark Knight like 100 times, like more than 100 times. So I remember every dialogue, like every bit, every piece. So yeah, I'm pretty happy to have concluded this episode, and I hope this comes out well. And guys, have a good afternoon. Thank you very much again.
Of course.
It's a pleasure to know you now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great that Kevin.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. Whoa. So yes, we have come to an end to my podcast, and it was such a delight to talk to Mr. Eric Roberts. And I mean, not often do I get a chance to do a podcast with such a big actor and such a big persona. So it's something. It's for the first time I'm doing something like this, and I was pretty nervous, but I think it went pretty well. And guys, please, I need your support. Please press the subscribe button. Please, and please put down in the comment section below what all you guys like to watch, because it is very important for me. And this show, Minding My Business, was actually started during the COVID lockdown, and I mean, I have already done more than 25 episodes now. So I mean, this is one of the highlights of our channel, and I plan to get more guests, and hopefully, I mean, I am able to invite more celebrities on this show. But then again, there are also the fun episodes, which I mean, I keep taking out on regarding, you have seen the Being Late Is Not Cool podcast, yes, something like that. So guys, yes, please watch out for this space. I mean, more stuff will come out in 2021. And guys, please support this channel, Bing and Bong, and it needs all of your support, all of your subscriptions. It doesn't cost money, please. And yeah, guys, I will get back with a brand new episode next week. Till then, goodbye, take care. You guys are watching Minding My Business. Thank you.